Next, a change of direction from inspiration to education. We have, as I mentioned, a number of exhibitors today. 4 of them are come up for a rapid fire session. What does rapid fire mean? It means we're only giving them 5 minutes. So our first exhibitor today is Guide Dogs New South Wales, the leading provider of guide dogs and orientation mobility services that enable people with low vision or blindness to navigate their community safely and independently. And I'd like to remind everyone, they don't just do guide dogs. They also teach you how to use a cane and a whole variety of services from 6-month-old babies up to as high as you manage to get in the age stakes. So here we go. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we can probably share it and just when I'll pass it on to you. And then... All right. Hello, everyone. I'll move a little bit closer. Is that a little bit better?
I'll give you an individual talking stick.
Thank you. Very good. Oh, we're spoiled for choice. We have a phone each. Well, thank you all for being here today. I'm Teresa. I'm one of the occupational therapists, and this is Abby. She's one of our assistive technology specialists, and we just wanted to give you a bit of an intro into the services we provide at Guide Dogs. So that was a really fantastic introduction into what we do, and hopefully we'll get a little time to speak with you all a little bit later if you have any sort of questions. But we just wanted to give you a little overview of some of the services we provide. So I'll start off with my favourite service, occupational therapy. So essentially we have occupational therapists that go into people's homes. We assess how their vision is impacting their day-to-day life and find solutions to everyday living problems that vision can impact. That might be learning how to make a cup of tea safely or figuring out how to use a smart TV. It's really quite broad, and we look at all different solutions to some of those problems that our clients face. We also have our low vision orthoptic services, which is all about enhancing functional vision and accessing information. So this could be working with someone to learn how to use a new electronic magnifier to make print a lot larger, so it's easier to complete reading tasks and reduce some of that visual fatigue from reading very small print. So our orthoptic services, we also have a low vision clinic, which we run at both Parramatta and St Leonard's in Sydney. So we also have our orientation and mobility services. This is probably our most well-known service, and we have a range of different orientation and mobility specialists. We have orientation and mobility specialists that specialise in early childhood and children's O&M. We also have neuro O&M for some of those brain-based vision conditions and working with those clients. We also have our general O&M doing a lot of cane work and navigating a local community with different mobility aids and catching public transport. And we also have our guide dog mobility services. And I might hand it over to Abby because she is one of our guide dog handlers and has her guide dog Duke with us. So I'll pass it on to Abby.
Sure, thanks Teresa. Yes, so our guide dog mobility service is just what it says. We provide training on how to use a guide dog. So most commonly our clients already need to be independent travellers, and then they might consider getting a guide dog if they think the cane's not working out for them or if they'd like a bit more companionship while they're travelling. And I can say as a fellow guide dog handler that it is very seamless. My guide dog Duke likes to bullet through crowds and up escalators and onto trains. So where the cane will find an obstacle, the guide dog will avoid it. And there are pros and cons to both having a guide dog and a cane. So yeah, each individual has their own preference, but it's always good to explore both options. And another thing I'd like to mention is our therapy dog service. So we provide the dogs as pets as therapy. So people that don't need the assistance getting around, they just want to have a beautiful, well-behaved dog as a companion animal. We do have a wait list for that as well, which you can check out. The next service I'd like to talk about is my favorite, assistive technology, and it is the opposite of the low vision service. So where low vision looks at access to information visually, the assistive technology service looks at access to information non-visually. So that is using our screen readers where our phones and computers talk to us, and also through Braille and other tactile means. Another service that we provide, which is I think the last, is our connection service. So this is more of an informal service where we try and get clients connected socially. We do online Zoom groups, and we also do in-person events. For things like Sculptures by the Sea or museum tours. For the Mardi Gras, we have a big presence there as well. And I'd just like to finish off with some of the other little projects that Guide Dogs has been working on outside of our client services. So we do have a social change team that has been looking at things like shared pedestrian ways and the risks that's causing to people with blindness and low vision. We've recently partnered with Point to Point, which manages our taxi and ride share, and creating awareness and actually finding drivers who refuse guide dogs and overcharge people that are blind or that have blindness or low vision. And that's just a few things we've been working on in the background, but we look forward to you all coming to our little stall and asking more questions. And we have a lot of equipment to demo as well. So thanks for having us. So much. I hope that was 5 minutes.
Thank you. That was perfect. We're actually running on time for the first time for at least half a decade. This is shocking to me. Okay, our next rapid fire exhibitor session is with NextSense. NextSense, Australia's largest non-government provider of therapy, education, cochlear implant and diagnostic services for people with hearing loss or vision impairment. They support thousands of adults, children and families every year. Services are provided at sites located across Australia and through tele-practice service for clients living in regional areas. My family has personally engaged with 8 different services from NextSense, and you may also know them from previous names such as Sydney Cochlear Implant Centre and Royal Institute Deafblind Centre, Catherine Sullivan Centre and others. Coming in, guys. Fun, who'd like to stick?
Thank you, Michael, for that lovely introduction. It helps with the rapid presentation. So a little bit about NextSense. NextSense is a not-for-profit organization supporting children, adults, and their families who are deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or have low vision across Australia. Sorry, I'm Pranitha Mudli and my colleague is Sonali Marate. The rapid is playing in my head, so sorry for the introduction. Yeah, we actually have an extensive network of 20 centers throughout Australia, and it is growing. We try and reach every student to meet their unique needs, and our service model is evidence-based and best practice. Some of the services, as was mentioned before, we do have our vision services. Together, we also offer the cochlear implant services, hearing services, but today I'm going to concentrate on the vision services. We have our early intervention vision services where ophthalmologists, hospitals, send the babies through to us and we start screening from then. We have therapists that go into the home and they work with the families. We're very well resourced in our libraries. And then the information is, the family is assisted with more information on where to next. From there, we have our preschool services. Our preschool, we have 3 streams. We have the spoken language, the sign bilingual, blind and low vision unit, and we have a unit in Blackburn, Victoria. Our preschoolers start from 2 to 5 years. We also have we have the integration, reversal integration, where we have children from the community. Recently, we've moved to our new hub, which is Macquarie Park. So we're attracting a lot of interest in the area. Our schools, we have a school on the premises that caters for K to 6, year 6. It does cover students with multiple disabilities in the blind and vision and deaf-blind classes. We have a sign bilingual and a spoken language unit, again, just primary. Then we move on to school support service, and I'm the manager, and it's my passion. We used to cater for independent schools and independent Catholic. As of recent this year, we are now catering for Catholic schools throughout Australia. And our numbers are really, bursting to the seams there. Our teachers work from kindy to year 12 across Australia, either in person in schools or withdrawn. We have a very intensive program where our teachers, teach the expanded core curriculum, assistive technology. We teach to the functional vision assessment, and we do have lots of resources. We upskill teachers, and we do partake in a lot of conferences. I'd be happy to speak to you further at our exhibitors table if you have any more questions, because this is a very rushed presentation. So please feel free to visit our table. I'll now hand over to Sonali, my colleague.
Thanks, Pranita. I'm going to talk about a few other services that NextSense provides. One of them is the allied health and therapy services. So at NextSense, we have allied health professionals that work with children and adults who are deaf, hard of hearing, who are blind, low vision. Some of these services include audiology, physiotherapy, speech therapy, psychology, orthoptic services, and many others. The other service is accessibility and inclusion, which I head. In the accessibility and inclusion service, for all the students on our service in the schools, in the school support service, which Pranita was talking about, we produce curriculum material to help them access their textbooks in school. We also work with government organizations and other organizations advocating for accessible formats. The NAPLAN Braille papers are produced by NextSense, along with progressive assessments which are used all over Australia. So these include the Maths Olympiad, they include the PAT ACER assessment tests, which are used in all schools. We also have vision assessments where we provide functional vision assessments as well as assistive technology assessments. And lastly, we have the NextSense Institute, which provides professional development that includes short courses, that includes postgraduate studies, and other tailor-made programs for anybody, allied health professionals, or people who want to study further. With this, with the continual professional education, one of them is the Masters in Sensory Disability, which is administered by NextSense, but it is affiliated with Macquarie University. And last but not the least, I just wanted to share that we have moved in May to a new center of innovation. And if we would invite all of you to visit our premises there, they are fantastic, taking into account all accessibility needs. And we were recently featured on Channel 10 for the building and for the architecture. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd emphasize as well, because needs can be very diverse, it can be hard to work out what needs you have. All of these organizations are very good at routing you to the right people, and they tend to not be shy even to tell you if it's another organization and how to get in. So don't be afraid to just give them a call or send them a mail. Next, I would invite Cure Blindness Australia to come up. Cure Blindness Australia's mission is to fund research that will lead to a cure for retinitis pigmentosa, RP, the leading cause of youth blindness and the leading cause of blindness in the working age population. They aim to provide information and support in any practical way to those affected by RP and related conditions. Enough?
Oh dear. Hi, everybody. My name's Robin Zanker, and I'm here with my colleague, Michael Estrenas. We are both on the board of Cure Blindness Australia, and I think it's a fantastic organisation with a mission to help people. We both have a vision impairment. That's how we got on the board. That's not true, but everybody on the board either has a vision impairment or perhaps has a child or a spouse with a vision impairment. Our organisation started up in the 70s by a few people that were affected by retinitis pigmentosa, who wanted to get together to support one another, to have some social events, raise public awareness. They ended up formalising their group and called themselves the Retinitis Pigmentosa Society of New South Wales. When I was first diagnosed with RP, my diagnosing ophthalmologist suggested that perhaps I give them a call, and I think he might have even given me a newsletter. So I did eventually end up contacting them, and a fellow called Wal Boland came and met me at work, took me for a cup of coffee down to Double Bay to meet a mate of his who also had RP. I mean, it was a very long time ago now. I've never forgotten it. I was newly diagnosed and I was upset and worried. So I guess in those days, the mission of the organisation was to provide support and information, especially to the newly diagnosed and their families. And I don't think that has changed. We now call ourselves Cure Blindness Australia Inc. And if you've read our brochure, you see that we are a registered charity providing education and support, increasing awareness and raising funds for research into retinitis pigmentosa and other conditions. Over the years, we have given as much money as we could afford to fund research projects to help find a cure or a treatment. Members of the board have come and gone. This is my second stint on the board. And sadly, I am the treasurer because nobody ever wants to be the treasurer. I guess for myself, I'm more interested in helping people. In the old days, we used to take turns answering the telephone. We'd have to call, a number to pick up the messages. And one week turned out to be a bonus for me. I picked up 3 mates that I'm still friends with to this day. They were newly diagnosed. They needed support. We still call one another, moan about hitting our heads on the kitchen cupboard. It's been really good. My friend Tim, when he called, for example, he was newly diagnosed, declared legally blind. We spoke for hours, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy for him because at that stage in his life, he was a horticulturalist and he had a big roster of people, and he was self-employed. Another friend I gained ended up going to the Paralympics twice, once to Athens and once to Beijing. I went to Beijing as a supporter, and I had, I must say, a really, really good time. It's been a great organisation for me to be involved with, and I hope more people will join us. We have a role to play, whether it's supporting people, raising awareness, raising funds, or just being more inclusive in our own communities. We're really looking forward to next year because it's actually going to be our 50th year. So we've been around for a long time, and I hope that next year we will have a big birthday party, but it might just turn into a festival, I think, for the rest of the year. Do you have anything to add, Michael?
Oh, look, I think I'd like to recognise that standing next to me is an outstanding treasurer. Robin has actually played a really key role for us, and it does an absolutely incredible job at being a treasurer, and we're very, very proud to have her on the team. Look, I think some of the points that Robin mentioned there really highlight what we're about. And one of the things that we're really proud of at the moment is really playing that advocacy role for the affected population of these conditions. So whilst RP is at the centre, is kind of the umbrella term for the conditions, inherited retinal diseases is really what we're all about. And so that extends to things like choroideremia, which is something that affects me and my daughter, but also things like rod cone dystrophy, X-linked RP, Stargardt disease, all of these kinds of subtypes of inherited retinal disease is what we really particularly focus on. And at the moment, it's never been a more exciting time than right now as far as cures and treatments and research that's going into solving these conditions. We're actively involved in supporting John Grigg and his wife, Robin Jamieson, at the Centre for the Children's Medical Research Institute out at Westmead, is an institute that we support a lot. And we're also playing an important role in an NHMRC funded research health economics project that includes multiple research organisations across Australia, all the leading organisations, including Safe Sight Institute, and playing that role of the patient advocacy part in that. So it's a really, really exciting time. And please come and see us at our exhibition stand out there, and we'd love to have a chat out there. Thanks, everyone.
And I haven't forgotten them. Our fourth exhibitor for our rapid fire sessions is Quantum RLV. For over 35 years, Quantum RLV, which is reading, learning, vision, I think, has provided products and services to people of all ages with a print disability, low vision, blindness, or a learning disability. They also collaborate closely with eye care professionals, ophthalmology and optometry practices, and vision support agencies such as Vision Australia, Guide Dogs, and NextSense. Come on up.
Hey, so good morning, everybody. I'm Rebecca Clark from Quantum Reading, Learning, Vision. So thank you, Michael, for that introduction. So as he said, we're actually an assistive technology company. So just a little bit about us, and we have got a stand out. My colleague Nora Tantiano is here with me today as well. So just a quick bit about us. So we're a national organisation with over 15 employees. We are actually overarchingly owned by Vision Australia now, but we operate as a separate brand. So we also work with Guide Dogs, NextSense, individual allied health professionals. We do cover equipment for people with low vision, blindness, or even reading difficulties, because we've got things that'll do text to speech that can also help people with dyslexia and such like. We've got site support centres in Melbourne, Sydney, in Thornley, and we also operate out of Vision Australia Caringbah with my colleague Dahlia, and also Brisbane. But we do have consultants that cover all the different states, and we will be having someone in South Australia shortly. So we can come to people's home, workplace, or place of education, or people can come to us to try the different technology. So depending on, or that might be via telehealth if it's somewhere more regional. We do try and get out to the regions now and again, but yeah, that can be time limited. So yeah, we do what we can in whatever way, which format that needs to be. We've got a repair facility here in Sydney. So if things do need to be fixed, they can come back to us. And we work with a whole wide range of manufacturers of equipment. So Freedom Scientific for the JAWS and Zoom Text type software, Optelec, LVI, lots of different. So we try and pick the best options for people we've got relationships with if there's something new. So we're not tied to one particular supplier. And like Michael said, we work with Vision Australia, NextSense, Guide Dogs, to help people get, and obviously individual people themselves, to find whatever technology might suit them. And we are registered as an NDIS supplier. Also, people can get things through My Aged Care, Department of Veterans Affairs, Education, and Job Access. Okay, so what kind of aids and supports are available? We've got things like lighting here. if people are just needing a little bit of magnification. So this is a lamp with a magnifier, but just as a bit of an example. So you can put that over your documents and read, or we've had even people use it for in the classroom and things like that. I've got household aids on there, but we've also got some wearable type magnifying glasses and optical magnifiers. We've got electronic magnifiers of all different shapes and sizes. So these ones, you can change the contrast. I don't know, people can, whoop. So just as an example. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm pressing the button too. Let's get it with the handle. That's easier. You can magnify and change the different colors. So there's anything from handheld to desktop ones of those. So it's not very easy to do with one hand, but yeah, you can pinch and zoom. There's text-to-speech devices, and I'll show one of those right at the end. So you can just snap and things will read out to you. There's some wearable devices, braille, things for tactile graphics, and also computer software and hardware. So I've just got some examples of the magnifiers. There is a limit on the strength of those, and the stronger they get, the smaller they get. And it can be, you know, you've got to hold some of them at a certain distance. So if you're trying to read extensively, that can be hard. But for just every day, quickly checking things, if you've got the right strength, that can be a good option. The electronic magnifiers, they can either be portable, so it's something you can take out and about, desktop, or even wearable now, almost like a VR type situation. There's a range of screen sizes, and then the benefit of those is you can change the color contrast and the size of the print. Some of them might have line markers and things like that. And then there are ones that integrate text to speech as well. So you can take an image and it will read out loud what you're trying to view. And these are some of the more commonly used devices for people that can still access things visually. Text to speech devices, I'll just turn these on. So these will generally read mostly just printed documents or information. Some of them also have, like I said, some of the electronic magnifiers also have this option. So you've got the vision and the speech. And so you can, if you've got enough vision, you can track where you're reading. And that can reduce eye fatigue, so you can listen often quicker than you can read things. So I'm just going to try and demonstrate this briefly if I've got time. So I've got in my hand something called the Orcam Read. The speaker on.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Okay. Okay. So if I try and point this particular one gives you a visual marker, but you don't necessarily need to see that.
Quantum is a 100% Australian-owned company.
Can people hear that
and has
okay?
been providing services and products to people with a vision impairment for over 35 years. Our vision services
So you get the idea. So that can snap, that the further you are away, the bigger area it'll get. So that's just one of the devices that we've got. Where are we? For computer access, we've got magnification programs such as ZoomText for Windows. There's the Fusion, which combines magnification and speech from the JAWS software. We have the JAWS screen reading software, which is going to read out everything that, on the Windows device. And obviously there is on Macs, there's the voiceover that's inbuilt. We have something called OpenBook, which you can scan and read things either using an ordinary scanner, but JAWS also does that now as well. We've also got a program called Read and Write, which is more for people with learning difficulties, or it will highlight and read as you're going, and it's got different, writing predictive text and other tools like that. And we do the Dragon voice recognition software, so you can do voice to text that way. And we also have some large print keyboards. We've got Braille writers, so for producing Braille on paper. We also have electronic Braille displays that are portable, and we also have some tactile imaging devices, and we do deal in embossers as well. And we do have ongoing training and support, so we can, as well as demonstrating things, we can do setup and training with the products. We have after-sales support and service, as I mentioned. We also do email newsletters, webinars, and we've got the usual social media people can connect with. And for people in organisations or allied health professionals, we can do professional development sessions and also do group presentations like we'll do at retirement villages and if there's a number of people interested. So that's us. So a lot of our information's on our website, but do come and visit us on our store. So thanks. Thank you.